Hello students, we are continuing with our test for urine abnormal constituents, and today we'll be discussing the qualitative test for ketone bodies, that is Rotheras test. Now there will be many things that you already know, but we'll be discussing few things which you may not know. Alright, so let's move forward. As you know, the test is named Rotheras test after the Australian biochemist A.C.H. Rothera. Okay, these are few of his pictures and memoirs. So remember, as I told you in the last class, the test which is named after any scientist should be always pronounced with an apostrophe s. You just cannot call it Rothera test. That is wrong. Okay, some examiner might take offense. So remember, it is Rothera's test. So we test ketone bodies which are abnormal constituents of urine. So let's look at the principle. Principle is very simple. Ketone bodies react with sodium nitroprusside in alkaline medium to produce purple colored complex. Now this may appear very easy, but remember this line, in alkaline medium, this often is missed in the exam by students. Alright, so remember what students do. Ketone bodies react with sodium nitroprusside to produce a purple colored complex. No, alkaline medium is a must, and to provide alkaline medium we will be adding many things in the reaction mixture. Now let us look at the procedure. The procedure is actually a bit tricky if you perform it for the first time, but after you do 2 or 3 times it becomes very easy. So first 5 ml of urine is taken in a test tube, alright, and then it is saturated with crystal of ammonium sulfate or ammonium chloride, depending on which institute you are performing the experiment. Both are fine, okay, but the reality is you need an ammonium cation, ammonium salt. So what do you mean by saturation? We need to shake, we need to add the salt and we need to shake the urine sample till some amount of crystal remains undissolved. And how will you know the solution has become saturated? Well, it turns a bit hazy or ground glass type of appearance. You know why? Because ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate in water is actually an endothermic reaction. So temperature will decrease. So moisture will collect outside. That is a indirect indication that your solution has been saturated fully. But always make sure substantial amount of crystal remains at the bottom, because even if you think the solution is saturated, trust me, some amount of crystal will dissolve, and if you already have very less crystal to start with, after you have saturated, by the time you are showing your examiner, the crystal will have dissolved and you may face question that your solution is not properly saturated. So to be safe, keep some excess crystal below the test tube undissolved, right? Thereafter you need to prepare, you need to add 3 drops of freshly prepared sodium nitroprusside solution. See, these are all qualitative tests, means we will say ketone bodies are present or absent. So these 3 drops can be 5 drops depending on your institute, but you should keep the sodium nitroprusside as minimum as possible, right? You shouldn't add 1 ml, that will completely ruin your reaction, right? So first 2 steps we are shaking vigorously. After adding ammonium sulfate, shaking vigorously. After adding sodium nitroprusside, we are mixing very well. Then you need to hold your test tube very steady, and by the side of the tube you should very carefully add liquor ammonia or liquid ammonia, depending on what institute you are doing. By the side, taking care not to shake the tube, not to mix the tube. Why do we intend to do so? Because if you have saturated your solution properly, liquor ammonia will form a layer on top of your sodium nitroprusside saturated solution, and at the junction of 2 layers, this is the observation, at the junction of 2 layers a purple colored ring will be formed, right? Remember, often what students do, they don't shake after adding sodium nitroprusside, and sodium nitroprusside will appear, if not shaken, as a brown ring, and they often get confused that sir or ma'am, I got a ring. But remember, you need purple ring, not brown ring, not any other ring. Purple ring means this test is positive. If this test is positive, it means ketone bodies are present in the sample, right? So this is how this test will look. So there has to be some amount of crystal that is left undissolved at the bottom, and 2 layer, right, and very clear ring at the junction of two layers. This is a negative test with no layers formed. Okay, so two layers distinct are separated but no ring, so this is negative, right? Now before going to the probable question section, you should know name of few alternative tests. Number one is iodoform test and Gerhard's test. This again, Gerhard's test is named after a scientist, so apostrophe S. But iodoform test directly tests ketone bodies. It is the name of a chemical. So iodoform, not iodoforms, right? So examiner may ask you, what is the full form, I mean chemical formula of iodoform? If you don't remember, remember chloroform CHCl3, so iodoform will be simply CHI3. You just replace the halogen, right? So what are the probable question? The first question that examiner will ask you, okay, what is your diagnosis? Definitely the condition is ketonuria, ketone bodies in urine, right? So as an undergraduate student, your probable to answer should be, my teacher, this might be a case of ketonuria. This is a case of ketonuria, might be due to number one, diabetic ketoacidosis or starvation ketoacidosis. These two distinct terms should be used. Your textbooks you may find prolonged diabetes or uncontrolled diabetes or prolonged starvation. Definitely the same condition, diabetic ketoacidosis and starvation ketoacidosis, because in both those conditions ketone bodies will be produced. Next question examiner will ask you, in relation to these, name some ketone bodies. So your answer will be acetone. The ketone bodies are acetone, acetoacetic acid and beta hydroxy butyric acid. Immediately next question examiner will ask you, all right, do all these tests give positive Rotheras test? Answer will be no. Beta hydroxybutyric acid will not give Rotheras test positive, right? We need to modify beta hydroxybutyrate by addition of H2O2. When we treat beta hydroxybutyrate or beta hydroxybutyric acid with hydrogen peroxide, it will be converted to acetoacetate and then it will give Rotheras test positive. Directly Rotheras test will be given negative by beta hydroxybutyrate even if this is a ketone body. Following that, examiner will be asking you questions related to metabolism. Those are how diabetes leads to ketogenesis, how starvation leads to ketogenesis. Now those are actually very easy question and you should be knowing that when, and I will be discussing that when we are discussing ketogenesis and lipid metabolism chapter. But as a summary, just know this, in both starvation as well as in diabetes, cell cannot uptake glucose. In starvation there is no glucose, and in diabetes, since insulin is not acting, either insulin is deficient or insulin is inactive due to receptor insensitivity, glucose cannot be taken up. So intracellular molecule or environment is actually starvation. It mimics starvation. Cells are starved, they don't have glucose to utilize as a fuel. So they first utilize all their storage glucose, that is glycogen, and then neoglucogenesis happens and ultimately cell resorts to breakdown of lipids. That's when acetyl coenzyme A will be produced, and then these acetyl coenzyme A will be directed to ketone bodies formation. Okay, remember acetyl coenzyme A cannot go into TCA cycle because there is a reason, due to unavailability of oxaloacetate, it cannot enter TCA cycle. I will be discussing that in a later video. Now, two important analytical questions in relation to Rotheras test. Number one, why do we saturate the solution? Why do we need to add ammonium chloride or ammonium sulfate at all? Simply we could have mixed alkaline medium, ketone body, everything, and we'd have got a purple colored solution, right? Yes, we can, but that's a very untidy way to do it. But I will tell you why do we do this test. And number two, what is the chemical nature of the purple ring? So these two things you might not know. So let us discuss them. See, number one, we are doing Rotheras test, right? We are not doing Orindham's test or your test. So this is the number one, this is the dictum. This is how ACH Rothera designed this test. Definitely, as per the logic, you can simply mix an alkali, sodium nitroprusside and ketone body. They will give a purple colored solution. In fact, nowadays the test that we use, that is keto sticks, dipstick, they simply give a purple color patch right? So formation of purple color is important, but when you are performing Rotheras test, this is the dictum and you need to do it in this way. Now comes the reason of saturating. Remember, when we are adding ammonia from the top, right, we are intending so that ammonia forms a layer on top, right, and in the junction there will be a ring that is formed. Now remember, ammonia is highly soluble in water. It is so hygroscopic that 100 ml of water can dissolve almost 8 times of its volume of ammonia. It is so highly miscible, right? And ammonia, what it does in water, whenever ammonia goes to water, ammonia plus H2O, it will form NH4OH. Alright, basically it dissolves to form NH4 plus and OH minus, because ammonia in water is a highly alkaline solution. So whenever you give even a slight amount of ammonia in contact with water, in contact to water, it will immediately dissociate to form NH4 plus plus OH minus. So remember, this reaction NH3 plus plus H2O reversibly breaks down to form NH4 plus plus OH minus, right? Now we don't want this to happen. We are adding ammonia to water, but we don't want the reaction to proceed towards this direction. So whenever we want an equilibrium reaction to not proceed towards one thing, we need to make excess amount of product. There is already excess amount of OH minus that is present, right? However, we need excess amount of NH4 plus in the solution. If the solution already has got too much, already saturated with ammonium ion, then there is no need of ammonia to further dissolve in water and to break down into ammonium and OH minus. So very important, if you don't saturate your solution fully, with time that ammonia will slowly go into solution and your ring will thicken. Alright, and that is an example of bad way of doing the experiment. Ideally, if you saturate the solution fully, you will get a very thin but very prominent purple ring. So this is number one. This is the reason why we need to saturate the solution with ammonia. This is reason number one, the scientific basis of Rotheras test. And number two, if there are any protein solution, because in urine there are multiple proteins which may interfere with this reaction, because proteins with alkali, ammonium may form alkali metaprotein, and in presence of alkaline medium they may give some interference. Therefore we add excess ammonium salt to salt out the proteins. Excess proteins, if they are present, will be salted out, because you know proteins are generally present in water because they have got a water shell around them which forms this, which helps them to dissolve. But ammonium or any salt, what it does, salt actually utilizes this water. Okay, basically it increases the dielectric constant of the fluid. So what will happen, we know the formula of dielectric constant, the attraction between two solids is equal to Q1 Q2 by Kd square, right? So whenever the dielectric constant is decreasing, right, the attraction between two substances will increase. Attraction increase means two proteins will now clump together and they will precipitate. So these are the reasons why we need to add an ammonium salt to saturate the solution. Number one, for proper ring formation, because it prevents dissolution of ammonia. And number two, to help salting out of the proteins, because this principle or this procedure where the two solutions or two solutes are getting clumped together and precipitated is known as salting out of proteins, right? And the second question that I was discussing is, what is the chemical nature of this purple ring? Okay, now this may not be given in every textbook, and number one, you may not be asked at all unless you are giving a gold medal exam, right? But definitely this is given in pathology textbook and you may be asked in second year if you are studying, if you are watching this in first year, right? So the name of the ring is ferropentacyanin complex, FERROPENTACYANIN. So ferropentacyanin, this is coming from sodium nitroprusside, okay, because sodium nitroprusside donates this cyanide group, and sodium nitroprusside has got iron, right? And this together with the ammonium ion and ketone bodies forms this complex. So please let me know whether you have got any other query related to Rotheras test in the comment section, and I will see you soon with another video. Till then, bye and take care.